Okay, so I have the NexStar 4SE, and using it for the first time last night after getting this telescope secondhand, I noticed that the motor on the how can I say, the tilt is making a really loud noise. So when you go left and right, that seems to be also quite loud, but not as loud as the up and down, which is, you can hear that there. And it's only when I go the down button. Well, that's really loud. So when you're outside, like at midnight, and you want to do some viewing of the stars and planets and that, and that's, your neighbors can hear that. That's how loud it is. So I'm going to see if I can, I've opened up this little gearbox area in this motor, and it looks like it's got enough grease and lubrication in there, but the sound seems to be coming from this motor shaft up the top here. So I'm going to try and maybe lube that up somehow and see how that goes, hopefully without purchasing a new motor. Okay, we'll get back to you and see how that goes. Okay, so I've just opened up this little gearbox motor bit, just so you can see. So the sound seems to be coming from the shaft of the actual motor, which is just down, and you can see inside there. And it's really, it sounds like a dry bush, and a bushing that's dry. So I've had a little bit of Singer sewing machine oil, which is not too thin, but it's just a little drop in there. I dropped it down into that shaft, and I've just let the motor run a few times just to give it a bit of lubrication. I've also lubed up other little bits. I'm talking about a very small amount of oil, not a lot, and that seemed to have taken the sound away. So I'll show you how it sounds when it's all closed up compared to how it did sound before. Okay, so the motor has been put back together. It's all been closed up. I did add a little bit of drop just underneath the spindle as well, just in there, very tiny amount, just so the top and bottom area, but that I'm pretty sure wasn't the problem. It was definitely the bottom bit down here. So if I move the motor up and down now, I'll use my toe to do that while I'm recording. So the up button was not the problem, it was the down button, right? You can hear it's so quiet now. Okay, let's go to the down button. Okay, so this was the problem before. And the motor sounds so smooth now, and it's running like it should. It's actually really quiet. So that's good. Successfully got this motor running quietly and smooth. No loud vibrations or noises. Okay. Now you can use any oil you like, and you're doing this at your own risk. I'm using a Singer sewing machine oil, which I find is a really good oil. I will not use 3-in-1 oils, as they can also get hard, and they can just set in time. So with this oil, at least you know it's not going to do that. Okay, that's good. I'm happy with that. I'll reassemble, and I might do the bottom for the, I might do the same for the bottom one as well. So you know, it is a bit noisy. It's probably also a bit dry, as you can hear. So we'll listen to that now. And we'll sort that one out soon. Okay, so I've connected it all back up now. So let's listen to how it sounds after it's all been oiled up. Definitely a lot better, and that sounds like it should sound. Okay, done. Okay, so yeah, I've just opened the bottom one up and took the whole thing apart. It's actually a very big job to do that, but it's all done. So yeah, the same thing, looks exactly the same as the other one. That all gear in there, just in there. You can see it there, right in there. So when you hold it up like in this position, yeah, you want to drop a couple of drops in there, and then you obviously have to let the motor run a bit. So just give it a bit of a movement, just to let that oil get into the actual shaft, and we'll see how that goes. It definitely sounds better. Okay, so everything has been lubed up now. That motor has been done. The one down below has been done. You just got to be careful. There's a little sensor up there that obviously picks up the speed of the motor or does something like that. You don't want to bend that little sensor down. It will rub and catch on that spinning little sprocket thing there. So when that turns, it's nice and free. So everything's moving nicely. You can hear that one's moving. It's all being loosened up. I also tightened up this little nut here, so I didn't make it too tight. What I did was I loosened it up, and then there was a little bit of play in this bracket here, and I tightened it up just enough so that play's gone. Because if you're going to make it too tight, it's going to put a lot of strain on that motor. So I feel that that's probably where it should be, and I'm just going to reassemble it all now, and we're good to go. Alright, so yeah, there's everything connected back up again. Everything's running smoothly. I've actually used this telescope a few times outside, and it's been running really nicely, and everything's quiet, so you can hear the left and right, and up and down. I've run 12 volt power supply onto that. Can't be bothered using batteries. Yeah, so I just used one from my modem, which I had a spare modem laying around, and it's a 12 volt 2 amp, and it seems to do the job pretty well. So yeah, you can see there, labeled it and everything. So yeah, so I didn't have to buy one off online, which is about $100 I think. It's quite a rip-off. So yeah, that actually worked well, and it fits perfectly in there, and she runs nicely. Okay, thanks for watching, and subscribe, and I hope this helps someone that's got the same telescope that might have the same issues. Yeah, you think you can do it, and go ahead and give it a go. Okay, have a great day. Take care.